Hi everyone, this is Evia Turquesadat, and I am back to share an art journal entry. And this is actually inspired by a set of stamps that Marla H. sent me in Iraq very recently. She sent me a set of foam stamps from Claudine Helmuth, and this is the pack. But I had to take them out, and the way they work is that you have to tear them apart into little stamp pieces. So there's a whole bunch of different stamps in that set, and I wanted to play with them and see what I could create with them. So I was having one of those nights where you have like a creative block, and I just wanted to see what could come out. And these are the pages that I worked on. I worked on one the first night, and then the next night I worked on the second page. This side here with the face is the first page that I made. I drew her first on pencil, and then I went over my lines with a micron pen, and then I colored her with colored pencils. So all of her face and her features, everything like that is done with the colored pencils, and I just added colors to her hair and finished those swirls and hair bang and all of her hair. It's just done with funky colors. I wanted to play with colors. I didn't want to think too much about it, just let it happen. And I really like how that girl came out. Now for the blouse down at the bottom, I didn't want to draw a blouse. What I did was I used this part of the stamp. So it comes like that with 3 little foam stamps on it, and when you add color to it, I think that looks so cool. I really like it. So then all of the other shapes that you see, like those they look like little donuts, but those circles, and then on the other page some of the other shapes are on. I just used my new stamp pads that I mixed. Some of them are Memento, and some of them are Hero Arts. And what else did I use there? The other stamp set that I used to create that page was this one. I had bought it last year at some point, and I had not taken it out. So it says keep calm and get crafty, and keep calm and make something. And that's exactly how I felt. I was overwhelmed. I felt like my craft room, or my studio, like I call it, was cluttered, and I couldn't create. So I thought, well, instead of just taking things out and making a project, I'm just going to go into my art journal and see what comes out, and I'm going to play with those stamps to see how they work and what comes out of it. So that's basically what came out. It was this girl with a whole bunch of crafty things in her head and not knowing what to do with them. So it says keep calm and make something, and that's what I did. And then the next day I added this page. So can you see how complicated my thought process was getting? So I used more of the stamps. I doodled in between my images and a whole bunch of colors onto that page, and that's what the spread looks like now that it's all done. So that's the first page, and this is the second page with all the doodles and the little butterflies and the eye and just flowers and just a whole bunch of little doodles all the way around. There's let me see, you can see closer, there's the little snail, there's leaves coming out of that, just fun stuff, you know. We're not thinking too much about it, just letting it happen and relaxing with it. And I was able to go to bed both of those nights with like my thoughts out of my mind, and ready to come back and clean up my mess a little bit. There's still a lot more that I need to organize, and that's the way I create. It's according to the way I feel that night, what inspires me that night. It could be one of the products that I have, or it could be colors, or just feeling of doing something vintage, or it's something mixed media, or maybe it's something with bright colors. It all depends on how I feel at the moment and what I attracted to from the things that I have around me and what I'm feeling. So that's how I create, and that's what came out of playing with those stamps that Marta had sent and trying to see what I could do with them. I really, really liked how they worked on the journal. This foam was really easy to stamp on the journal, and easy to clean, and the shapes were fun. So I had a great time doing it. And yeah, so after that I started cleaning up my studio again and getting rid of all the clutter on my tables, because it was like piling up from the projects that I was working on and from all the packages that I had received from the things that I had bought with the help of my friends. So I had not been able to organize that. And the other thing that I did, and I don't know if this might help you, if it does, I'm glad it does, but I feel that when I keep, well, I felt that I had a lot of things that I really liked, and they were hard for me to get, and they were still in their packaging, and I had them sorted out by like themes or types or product lines or whatever, but they looked so pretty in the package that I just kept them there, and I kept looking at them and loving them but not using them. So I've started to take things out of their packaging and putting them into bowls or containers, or organizing them in different ways so that I can just grab them and use them, and I don't get to see them pretty in their packages. I get to see the product, and I just go in and grab and not think about whether it's a Tim Holtz and it's expensive to get, or if it's a Prima and it's expensive to get. Or so it might be harder for me later on when I'm sharing my projects to go back and telling you what collection it came from, or what product line it comes from, or who made it, or whatever. But at least I get to use them. They're out, they're accessible, and they still look pretty, but they're not like all perfect. So they're out and easy to grab. And the project that I worked on today, actually, that's the way I started using things. I took them all out of, like, I took all of my wood veneers out of the packages. I put them into little bins, and I started grabbing them and not thinking about how hard it was to find them, just using them. And the Tim Holtz, I've had a drawer with all the things that my friends were able to find for me and help me buy at good prices. And I took them all out of the packages and sorted them by themes, and I'm starting to grab those and use them too. And that's the way I'm planning to do the rest of the things that I have. I mean, as long as they're not hurt by taking them out of the package. So some things you need to keep in the package until you use them, because they get ruined if you take them out. But like embellishments and things like charms and all those things that you can take out of package and put them in, like, organize them in some other way that's not in their package, then that's what I'm doing with that. Obviously I can't do it with everything, but I'm doing it as much as I can. So first of all, it totally made space. I had a whole bunch of like dollar stamps, and it was like a pile like that thick with all their little packaging. I took all of them out of their packaging and put them into baseball card sleeves that Steph had sent me a while back in a rack, and I had them in the binder for ATCs and little tiles. I had a whole bunch of them left from the ones she had sent me. I decided to put my dollar stamps in there, and now I have them all together in a binder, and I made space out of that. But I am attacking my collection of things and using them on projects. So that's my thought process up to now, and it feels good to have that kind of like started to sort out. And I don't know, I hope that helps you in some way. So thanks for your visits. Hope you liked my share of today with my art journal entry, and I hope to be back with more to share soon. So take care, everyone. Besitos.